I'm a man of my word. I predicted it. Unlike others, she is the product of Niagara Top Team, the pride of Canada and Ontario, the one and only Jasmine Jasudavicius. What? What do you think?
Great.
What do you think?
Amazing.
Amazing. See,
Amazing.
I prefer Jasudavicius because I think that's the authentic way, right?
That's even better.
I've come along. I've been working on this. What do you prefer? Jasudavicius, because they said on the broadcast Jasudavicius, but I prefer Jasudavicius. I could do both now. I'm going like boom, 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 but I just want to know, what do you want me to say?
I like Jasudavicius.
Jasudavicius. Okay, that's what I was saying. I was saying that all week last week, and then I got a little self-conscious because I'm like, I don't want to butcher it again. But I'm nailing it, right? Jasudavicius.
You're killing it, man. Keep it
Thank
up.
you. So are you. So are you.
Thank you.
Oh my God, what a night. What a week for you. Unbelievable stuff. Are you on a high right now? Like, how are you feeling? Can you even describe?
I'm on cloud nine. I feel like since the fight, I've been honestly pretty much since I landed in BC, that like you could feel the buzz in the atmosphere as soon as you got to the hotel. Like you could feel the vibe in the air, and yeah, like it just continued through. I got the win, and now just I feel like finally it's like starting to settle, and I'm like, oh, I'm exhausted.
Well, I appreciate you talking to us about the fight because it was so amazing and the week was so amazing and it was so great for Canadian MMA. And I'm just wondering, like, for all of you, like I was talking to Iman about this as well. You know, you've watched MMA, you've been a fan. I know you went to an event a few years ago, all that stuff. We spoke about the story. And now, like, for you to be a part of this story, like the resurrection of this is crazy stuff, right? Does this feel real to you? Does this feel like how do you even explain all of this?
It's unbelievable. And the fact that all the Canadians won, we went six straight that night. It's and like having my boy Mikey on the same card with me, like it was the literally I felt like the stars were aligning all week, all fight night, everything.
What about the fact that a lot of people were saying you were the biggest underdog of the bunch? She's a tough
I,
opponent. How did you feel going into it?
I mean, like anyone who knows me, they know that that those things don't matter. That doesn't get in my head, nothing like that. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like it makes sense why I would be the underdog. She's ranked 15th. I'm just beating a debuter. Like, you know what I mean? I understand why the odds were as they were, but like anyone who knows me or like seen my fight before, they know I'm a dog. So bet on me if I'm an underdog for sure.
The Canadian zombie. That's what it felt like you were fighting like out there. And shout out to the Korean zombie. But it's just like it felt like you would not be broken. You kept coming forward. After the first round, how were you feeling about the fight? And what was your corner telling you? Because to me, rounds 2 and 3 were obviously yours. Round 1 was close, could make the case, but you could also make a strong case for her as well. How are you feeling going into the second following the end of the first?
So after the first, like, I knew that I probably lost that round. Like she was doing the submission attempt and I had to, stay defending the whole time. I couldn't get my arm out because I knew if I started moving, that's when it's getting in. I let it get in a little bit too deep than I should have. So then I was kind of stuck, like stalemating, hoping that she was going to move and that I was going to make this space. But I after that round, I just knew like I'm not going to sit here trying to burn my energy, trying to get my arm out. I'm just like, let's be patient, let's be smart here, and bide my time. So after the first, I knew that I was going to have to either finish her or win the next two. And so sitting down, my corner said, respect respect the submissions, all that kind of stuff. But they didn't have too much advice for me. And after it was like my coaches said, just be you with defense. That's the game plan. Be you with defense. And so I knew coming in for the second and third, like I was going to come in hot. I wanted to put her on her back foot. I wanted to keep the pressure on her. And so that's what I did.
You really did. You kept moving forward. Very impressive stuff. Where would you rank this one in terms of the UFC fights that you've had so far? I feel like it's at the top just because of the setting and all that stuff, but for you and the performance as well, where would you rank it?
top for
Right.
sure. Being able to fight in Canada, and I'm very proud of my performance. I fought the whole time, and it's I'm happy about it.
She posted something on social media afterwards about losing sight in one of her eyes. I think she said her left. Did you read that? And what did you make of it?
Yeah, I heard about that. I mean, we're in a fight. It happens. Probably got some. I'm rubbing her face, like grinding my fist in her face. It's a fight. So maybe something scraped it. I apologize. I hope everything's okay. I'm not, trying to poke an eye or anything like that. But yeah, I hope nothing's like actually wrong with her. No one wants to lose an eye. That's
Sure,
that's
sure,
a
sure.
terrible thing.
Could
So,
you tell that
but
she was dealing with something in the fight?
no, I couldn't tell. I didn't really. I was just trying to punch her in the chops.
Yeah. No, I feel you. By the way, did you know that and shout out to Aaron Bronstetter for this factoid. Did you know that the last time there were five Canadian victors on a card, it was the card that you were at back in the day, June 18th, 2016. You were at that card, right? As a fan, that's the last time this happened. Isn't that wild?
That's so wild. He told me that after my fight. Yeah, he told me that. That's so crazy.
What a world. Imagine telling that young woman at that card, 7 years ago, that this would happen. Like, would you have believed that? Like, oh yeah, in 7 years you're going to be fighting at Rogers Arena in Vancouver, all that, like in the UFC. Would you have believed that?
Not a chance. I would have believed that.
Because at that point, were
No.
you even training MMA yet?
Um, yeah, by that point, because my first one was Ottawa. So by that one, I had been training for a little bit.
Okay. But like, was UFC even on the radar for you? Like, was that even a part of the?
No, I was still an amateur. I hardly even knew how to throw a punch by then.
Wow, crazy how it all, how it all comes together. So you fight, but then you still obviously want to see, as you said, your boy Mike Malott, who's going to join us on Wednesday, by the way. I wanted to have him on today, but he's flying today, he told me.
Yeah.
So for those asking why he's not on, that's the only reason why. What do? You go to the back and watch, you go in the arena. Where did you watch his fight?
Yeah, so normally they shuffle you out. You got to go back to the hotel, but they were very, very nice, and they let me and my corners stay. Well, Chris he cornered Mike's, but the other two, D-Marks and Jelly, they let us like stay, and we were kind of like in the back area where the security stands, and so we got to see the fight. And they let me when he was walking out, they let me go up and like try to get a high five of him, but that he
Oh,
when he walked out, the
yes.
stands fell, right? So
Yes.
he didn't even see me at all because of the commotion.
Were you close to that?
I like watched it happen. It was like probably 20 feet away from
Oh
me,
my
not
gosh.
even.
Was it scary? Did anyone
Yeah.
get hurt from what you saw?
I don't think so. Like they say nobody did, but I know Chris got hit. He got hit in his arm and his leg. You like
Oh
did one of
man.
these, but it still kind of got him. But I'm very surprised because a ton of people came down
Yes.
with it. Like drinks were spilled, everything.
And very close to Mike as well. That
Yeah, he just kind of whoop and
yes.
then kept going, man. Like
Those reflexes. What was it like when you saw him win?
very,
Because I was a little bit nervous for him and the whole crew because it was like, man, there's one left, and he's talked about how much this meant to him and UFC 129 and like it just, yeah, it would have just been so great. Okay, this is perfect, and so you don't want him to stumble at the finish line because you know how much it will hurt him. What was it like when you saw him get the win, and especially the way in which he got the win?
uh, you know, I didn't really have a doubt. Honestly, like I see the guy in the room. I see what he's doing. I see how talented he is. I didn't really have a doubt that he was winning, but to be able to see it and see how happy he was, like, it to see him after when he was like walking through, we got to hug. They let me like go up there and see him. So it was a night. We keep on saying two weddings because the last time we fought, that's what it is, like two weddings. So this time six weddings.
Yes,
So
six wedding. And by the way, speaking of, I think on was it on Sunday or Saturday? Did he get engaged? Because I saw a photo on his Instagram with a ring or something. Did he also get engaged?
I think he's been engaged for a bit. Maybe this is the first time that he like put it
Oh,
out
okay, okay,
there.
okay.
But yeah, yeah, he's been engaged. He just bought a place. Actually, he's like moving closer to us, right around the corner from Josh Hill, and so it's gonna be sick to be able to see Mikey even more.
It's all coming together. Canadian MMA. Is it back? Is it finally back? Is it a thing now?
Oh, it's back and it's going strong.
I love it. I love it. We need to get. What do you think? Like you were there, you were on the ground. Is Ontario going to happen? Is Toronto going to happen? What are they saying? I'm sure you asked.
Toronto, I think Toronto's happening. That's what they're saying that they want to go there. They wanted to go there this time, but the whole playoff thing or
Mm.
NHL, but I don't know any other sports other than this, but some other sports thing was going on there. But yeah, I think Toronto will be next.
This year?
I think so. Dream, believe, achieve, right? This year
Yes.
for sure.
And what about you? When would you like to return?
Uh, you know, I'm gonna take probably about 3 days off, rest for a little bit, and then back in the gym. And I want to be active. So ideally I kind of book something sooner, like book something so that it will
Sure,
be
sure,
in
sure.
whatever
Do you have someone in
10
mind?
weeks. I have no one in mind. I mean, my coaches, they want Maycee Barber or Casey O'Neill. Casey O'Neill, she talked shit my very first my debut. So, she's always been on my hit list
What'd she
because of
say?
that.
What did Casey say?
She just put a yawn face on like a thing that a post of my fight or something
Oh
like that.
no.
And I'm like, hey, whatever, man. She started it, so wait, that hooks in now.
Wow. I love the fact that even when you're kind of talking trash, you're laughing and smiling. Like I feel like there's no way that like does anything make you mad?
Yeah, like traffic, someone cuts me off.
Yeah.
Oh, people like take my food, that kind of stuff. But
Okay.
no, I'm pretty chill.
Who's taking your food? You mean like at the gym?
Well, if I'm eating something and somebody like comes and eats it before I
Oh, that's
finish it or
annoying. I
something,
mean,
I
who's
don't
doing
know.
that? What kind of
The guys at the
Neanderthals?
gym.
Oh, yeah, that's not nice. They are
Yeah.
Neanderthals. By the way, speaking of which, I saw this footage. I see these people all the time, like GSP. GSP has a cold plunge in his backyard. He goes in there. I see Joe Rogan doing it. I see all the athletes doing it. All the fighters love to do that. I see footage like walking under a bridge, jumping into what appears to be disgusting polluted water. We're watching this right now. And then jumping in to do your cold plunge. Like you're literally walking under the bridge right now to jump into this water. If I was like driving, I would think, is this person trying? Like, what is this person doing? Putting their right, like you're walking on this thing. It looks like it's going to collapse. You take off the majority of your clothes. What is going on here? Why can't you just do a normal cold plunge? Why do you have to do it here?
It's a really nice spot. So that's actually a train bridge.
Okay.
So there's no like cars or anything like that going over top. So and it's like kind of in a secluded area. So it's like a very zen spot. But yeah, I always like go down there whenever I feel like I'm going like crazy in my head. I'm like, I gotta like, figure my shit out. And I feel like a cold plunge always just like settles everything. And
Wow.
so, yeah, I mean, it's probably polluted, but maybe that's like got such big pipes here,
That's right. So wait, is there a train that goes over your head when you're in there?
The train doesn't use those tracks anymore. It's
Oh, okay.
like a band. I don't know. They don't use them.
Jeez. How far is that from where you live?
Like a 4 minute drive,
Okay.
maybe.
And you ever
Yeah.
like do the whole thing where you're walking and you're getting undressed? Like, does anyone ever stop you and say, like, yo, what's going on here? Or is there no one actually around there?
There's a walking path that's like kind of farther out, but where I go in, like to go underneath the bridge, there's no people
Okay.
there.
Do you always go alone or do you bring someone with you?
I sometimes bring people. A lot of time I'll go alone because it's usually when I'm like stressed out, like say I had a bad practice or something like that. Then I go, have my alone time and I just go in the water, and then you always feel better after. But say I brought a lot of girls in for this training camp. So if they ever wanted to do a cold plunge, or then I take them to that spot. Like, I know a spot. Let me show
Uh, and
you.
what happened? Like they think they're going to some fancy cold plunge spot and they're going under a train bridge. Did anyone ever like, what? If I was with you, I'd be like, you're crazy. I'm going back home. This is nuts.
Yeah, but I mean, by the time that I brought them down, it's too late, anyways.
Yeah. By the way, do you go in the winter too?
Most of the time, it's in the winter that I go
Oh
because
my gosh.
then the water will be like that much cold. When I went at that time, it was probably the coldest that the water actually is because it was at the end of the winter. So
Oof.
the water's just like kind of like just thawed out. That you could see like farther on, maybe not in that video, but a little bit farther, there was still ice like over in the deeper part of the water.
Sheesh. And how long are you in the water for?
I don't know until I feel like it was enough.
Okay.
I don't really do, some people time it, everything like that. I just go in and just try to go for as long as I can, either until I, at least very minimum, until I like calm my breath. But then sometimes then if it's like a little bit warmer, then you just kind of chill in there for a little while and like make sure you really open yourself up. But if it's really cold, then I'll just like calm my breath and then shoot back out.
By the way, have you been back to the gym today?
No, I'm still in BC.
Oh, you
I
are.
I we Yeah, yeah, we decided to stay a couple days. We went to Gross Mountain yesterday. Gonna do some other hiking, like take advantage while we're here.
Yeah, for sure. I was gonna say it looks like you're in a bedroom right now, and I was like, those are some nice plants in your bedroom behind you. But I guess right behind you over
I
there.
wish my bedroom was as
Yeah,
nice looking as this. There's like
yeah,
clothes, training gear.
yeah. I was like, wow, it is very zen over there. I was just wondering, like, what the vibe, like, when you guys go back to the gym. I'm sure it's going to be incredible, right? You guys are doing
Oh,
so well, and feels like the confidence of the team is growing every day.
it's gonna be nuts. We've got a bunch of guys fighting coming up soon, so it's just perpetual. That it's great. We're gonna celebrate this win, but right away once we're back, these guys, these are the most important fights of their lives. So my fight's done. We did the work for it. Now it's like it's these guys' time, and that's why we continue to grow. We're not celebrating the wins for super long. We're in there celebrate, but then we're right back to work.
Well, I must say, when I started my career, I was very, very adamant on being like super, super, super unbiased, right? I have to be Mr. Journalist. I can't ever show any emotion. I can't show any bias of any kind. As I've grown older, I've chilled out in that regard, and I was rooting for you guys. As from one Canadian to another, I was so happy to see you guys succeed. And with every single victory, it just kept growing, growing. And I wanted the 6-0. I wanted the perfect night. And you did your part, and Mike capped it off, and everyone did their part. All great performances. So I'm thrilled for all of you. So happy to see Canadian MMA finally get some love again, because it feels like it's been a really long time, and now you're a big part of that. So keep it going. Much respect, much love, congratulations, and I give you a little cheers with my Stay Vicious cup over here. Jasmine
Love it.
Jasudavicius.
Awesome. Perfect.
Yeah. Thank you so much. All the best. Thank you for coming on, and we'll do it again soon. Appreciate it.
Awesome. Thank you. Always the best.